Hey y'all, always so good to see you here on the channel. I hope everybody's doing just fantastic. We're late July. My son and I just got off the cruise ship today. Explains why my face is so red, because I am really sunburned. But just got back, like I said, today. We've been gone for a week, and our little raised bed here has gone crazy. We've got Roma tomatoes ready. We've got some onions we're going to dig up here in a minute. And then hopefully I'm not going to get embarrassed when we dig up one of our carrots. If you saw the video, I don't know, a couple weeks back, dug up a few of my carrots, and they were these wee little bitty, puny, embarrassing little things. So we're going to go digging right now. Let's go see what we've got ready. So right out the front door here, y'all remember we built this nice little raised bed here. Our onions are for sure ready. And we know this because whenever all the stalks were upright before we left, but now they've fallen over, and so all of these onions are ready. I'm going to pick some of the bigger ones for supper tonight, and then leave the others and just kind of pick them sporadically. This is the let's go ahead and just grab one of these larger ones right here. This is the Stuttgarter that we planted back in the spring, and look at that nice big onion. Now, I've not grown this variety before, but that's really pretty, looks healthy, and these supposedly store really well too, so we're gonna have to experiment with that. But this one's not going in storage. This one's going in my belly tonight because I'm gonna saute him up for supper. I only need 2 for tonight, so I'm just gonna look in here and try to get my foot in here. I planted these a little bit too close together. Man, look at the weeds. They had a lot of rain while we were gone this week, and it does not take long for weeds, as you guys know, to sprout up and take over. Oh man, look at that big fat one there. Oh, that's nice. And they're so easy to pick. I mean, literally you just pull up a little bit and they pop right out of the ground. But that's how we know when they're done, right there. When this stem goes limp and they just kind of fall over, and they are ready for harvest. And we probably got to be pretty careful too with leaving the rest of these in the ground for any amount of time, just because, like I said, we're in late July now. It's hot, we've got humid conditions, and these will rot if we let them stay out probably too much longer. So I think that's all we need for supper right there. But we have got a ton of them, you guys. Check that out. That is so awesome. And they're going to taste so good because we grew them ourselves. And as y'all know, anything that you grow yourself, it just tastes better. And you know what, guys? In saying that they're going to probably rot out here if we leave them too much longer, let's go ahead and pick Mom 1 or 2 of them. Let's see, let's find us another big, nice one. There's another nice one over here in the corner. Gonna shake him off. Look at that beautiful color. That is going to be so delicious. And a couple, this one was like, let's check this guy out just for research purposes. We kind of got 3 small ones right there. I like to take those right there and actually just cook them whole. I'll cut that off and maybe slit it down the middle, put a little Worcestershire, maybe some soy sauce or Dale's, put them in some tin foil, throw them on the grill, and just kind of saute them. And that is good eating right there. So we'll see what Mom can do with these, and we'll just you know, pay her a nice visit and give her some fresh onions out of the garden. And man, look at our basil. It has gone crazy while we were gone. Look at that. That thing's a darn shrub, almost a small tree. That thing's probably going 3 foot tall. So we can use that. I think I might make some spaghetti later on in the week. We'll come get us a couple leaves out of there. It's starting to flower here, so it won't be long, and we'll need to either plant some more for the fall or just rip this one up, because the taste kind of changes. Usually a lot of times when these leafy greens flower, just something happens internally of the plant. It just kind of changes the flavor. But holy moly, you guys, look at the Roma tomatoes that we have got going on in this little raised bed. We've got to come through and do a little culling, as y'all saw in some of my past videos. Remember, we only want 3 to 4 tomatoes per cluster, and with all this rain, and I haven't been here to kind of take care of them. They are just running amok. But look at these beautiful big old Roma tomatoes, y'all. We're gonna pick some of these for Mom too, and then maybe even use some of these in our spaghetti later on in the week. So I'm just gonna come in here with my Felcos, and we're just gonna cut some of these different clusters off just like so. Look at that right there. Now, this one's not quite just ripe, but it'll ripen inside in the kitchen, and then this will go great in some of our meals later in the week. Plus, the other great thing about growing vegetables in your own backyard is you can give these away, and it just means a whole lot to folks, you know, when you give them something that you grew yourself. Now you can see here a couple of them have already rotted on the vine just because, well, we haven't been here to harvest them, but definitely want to get rid of those. And what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and show you. We're going to take this guy who's already rotted. We can come down here, and I'm just going to dig down at the base of the plant. I'm just going to throw that right in the ground. That's going to help feed our microbes. Now, we wouldn't want to do a tremendous amount of the rotted ones in the soil, but just a few here and there just feeds the microbes and then gives the plant back all the nutrients that it took to make that tomato in the first place. And then we're going to have to go get our tapener gun and see if we can't re-secure this guy in a couple places, and probably get some even taller bamboo stakes, because we still got a few more months of growing. This is an indeterminate tomato, so it's just going to continue to grow until frost comes, which is still a few months away. So I want to try to get all the tomatoes I can off of it, but we're just going to have to continue to stake him right on up in order to do so. And let's see what we got. Let's see, my raccoon has been back, and he comes up here because, as I've shown y'all in the past, we've got our bird feeder, which they've emptied while we've been on vacation. But the raccoon likes to come up here and eat what the birds have dropped, and also some volunteer sunflowers have come up from the bird seed. But it looks like something has been chewing on the leaves, something fierce. It's almost defoliated this whole plant. And I'm not too worried about it because, well, these are just volunteer sunflowers, and everybody's got to eat, so I'm not going to worry about putting any like BT, which is the dust. It's a really cool, actually, bacteria, a naturally found bacteria, that if anything is chewing on your leaves, you can use BT. It's like Bacillus thuringiensis or something. You can put that on there, and it stops up the digestive tract of the caterpillar or whatever worm-like animals are eating your plants. Stops up their digestive tract and kills them, but it does it all naturally. I'll put a link to that in the description below if you do have anything that is caterpillar-like chewing on your leaves. It's a good all-natural way to go to stop them. Alright, let's see here. We've got a few more that have rotted on the vine, so we need to harvest those off. But man, I'll tell you what, these plants are just some of the healthiest Romas that I've ever grown. And this little raised bed has just done wonderful. With that Land Sea compost, if you remember, we put in here, as well as our own compost, it has just done phenomenal. Really, really impressed with it. And holy crap, y'all. Look at our SuperSweet 100 cherry tomato. It is going out of control. Look at all those beautiful red cherry tomatoes. I'm gonna eat one right now. And they're splitting open just because they've been left on the vine too long. So we'll get rid of the ones that have split. And we've had so much rain. Come in here and find us a nice one like that. And you can just pop it in your mouth. And it's so sweet, it was like candy. So again, this is SuperSweet 100. One of the best cherry tomatoes that we've grown for vigor and just phenomenal taste. Alright, let me get done chewing that up. And what I did do in here on this cherry tomato is kind of a little experiment. We've got another carrot right here, but we're not going to do that just yet. What I did do as an experiment, I had this runner coming right here from the cherry tomato, and so I buried it. And I'm not gonna rip him up because, yeah, I can lift up with my finger there. He's rooted. So what I've done is take that one limb of the tomato, put him in the ground. I set this flower pot on top just to hold it down because I knew that it would send down roots. And then I trained it up on this tomato cage, and we almost made a whole nother cherry tomato plant out of that one limb. These tomatoes, and all tomatoes really, are vines, and they just want to spread out, and they'll actually send down roots out of their stalk and just kind of run almost like a watermelon. So that's why we have to use cages and stakes to get them up off the ground so they don't rot. But that was kind of a neat little experiment I did with that limb. Just put him right in the ground. I buried him down just a couple of inches, put that pot on there to hold it, and now we've got almost a whole nother, well, not almost, we really do have a whole nother cherry tomato plant off of the mother. All right, guys, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Dun dun dun. Hope I don't get embarrassed here. We're gonna dig up another carrot. I think this guy has got to be ready. I mean, look at the size of the canopy on this carrot. I'm gonna go ahead and just dig down a little bit. I feel the carrot down there. All right, let's see what we got. Hopefully it's better than last time. And I mean, it's definitely better than last time, but that is one funky, short, fat little carrot. But it smells carroty. Wish you guys could smell that. I just suck at growing carrots, man. Y'all leave me some comments below and tell me what success tips and tricks y'all might have, because I need help. I mean, I thought that dude would be like a foot long by now, but I don't know. Hey, it's much better than the last one we pulled up. But just look at all of that foliage. I mean, it's huge. Dadgum. Well, we're eating that guy in a salad no matter what, because I've been waiting for quite some time to pull this carrot up. Oh well. Let's see what else is happening in our little raised bed here, y'all, other than the weeds. Good gracious. I mean, it takes no time at all. This thing was clear when I left just a week ago, and now it's just slap full of weeds. I do see one of my little sugar baby watermelon seeds that I planted before I left. And let's see what else we got. Our one little squash plant is doing okay. I see some flowers on it, but it's really late. It's going to be really hard to see that do anything, because these get fungus so bad in these hot, humid conditions. And they also get squash borers. So that squash borer damage you can see right there where they've literally bored right into it and killed the whole plant. So, but it's late in the year anyway, and we definitely don't want that up there, because this is fungus season. These hot, humid nights. Oh, this is that chili the arbol, or chili, or pepper tree, I guess, if you were to translate it literally. From Spanish, Jovi, young lady that works for us down at Grassroots, planted some seeds. This is a really cool, hot little pepper, but it'll get big and turn into a, not a tree, but you know what I mean, a little tree. But some really, really flavorful little peppers. So we're gonna have to watch that guy right there and see what he does here in the next few weeks. And speaking of the next few weeks, that would be a great time right now to hit that like and subscribe down there and the little notifications bell, so that you can follow along when those peppers do get ready, when this garden just continues to evolve, as well as our whole landscape. This is just an ongoing process, and I love sharing it with you guys, and I love y'all watching it grow with me. And man, just look at the crabgrass that has popped up everywhere. That weed wasn't there. That weed wasn't there. 1 week's time, y'all. It is just insane how fast these weeds can grow. And here's something kind of interesting, you guys. Look at what we have here. So you remember the raccoon of that YouTube short I did where the raccoon came and ate some of the Roma tomatoes? I just left the tomatoes there to rot. But look at all the baby tomatoes that have sprouted from the seeds that came out of the tomatoes. That is pretty dang quick. That just goes to show you, you know, nature just wants to survive. And these tomatoes are the fruiting bodies that contain the seeds. And it just wants to spread and just procreate. And it certainly has done that right here. Look how many Roma tomatoes there are in that one little patch, coming from that one tomato that has just sat there and rotted, and the seeds have germinated and come up. There's probably 50 tomato plants down there right now. That's insane. All right, well, let's come in here. Let's harvest a couple more Roma tomatoes to give away, and then also use on our own dinner plate here later in the week. And again, we want to come in here and get rid of these guys that have obviously rotted on the vine. They're no good to us anymore. These two look pretty good out here on the end. And because I don't have 3 hands, we're just going to hope. Oh, never mind. I was going to say hope they didn't. It didn't fall. But they did, but it's okay because look, this one started to rot as well. Now again, we don't want to bury all these in the soil like I showed you guys a while ago. These are going to have to go to our compost heap. But that one's still good right there. Look at that beautiful thing. That is going to be so tasty in our spaghetti, y'all. Oh yeah, we definitely got to get in here and clean this up. All these hot, humid conditions, we've just got tomatoes rotting on the vine like nobody's business. And so what I'm going to do, since I don't have 3 hands, I'm just going to cut these guys loose and kind of come in here and get rid of some of these suckers as well. This guy right here doesn't need to be there, so we're going to take all that off. Now is really an important time of year to really try to maintain airflow around these tomatoes. And if we'd have stayed gone, you know, for a little bit longer, and if that rain would have continued, which it's acting like it's going to rain again right now, that is just a recipe for fungus and disease, and we don't want that. We had these things cleaned up, if y'all remember in that video we did not too long ago. Just going to pull this whole sucker right out of there, and I'll also go to the compost heap. But anyway, if you remember, we had these things looking really nice and really clean up underneath here, and that's what we're going to have to do again, just to improve that airflow, to help reduce the chance of any type of fungus jumping on the plant, which can give you issues, you know, similar to this right now. This is not a major concern for me right this minute, but I am going to go ahead and get rid of that whole limb right there, because those leaves are showing some signs of fungus, as well as these guys up here. And it's just because we've been on vacation, we haven't been here to really take care of them. And to tell you the truth, honestly, when I'm cutting off some of those leaves that look funky, we really should be using some isopropyl alcohol in between each cut, just so we don't spread, you know, disease onwards into other limbs of the plant. So I think that's what we're going to go do right now, because I don't want to preach it to you guys and then not do it in my own practice. So I'm going to go find some alcohol, just so we don't spread disease onto, you know, the rest of the plant and kill her, because she's doing really good. So I'm going to do that right now, go clean these things up, and I'm going to come back in here and go ahead and prune up a little bit and harvest the rest of these really good Romas. Now, doesn't that look much better, you guys? Look at all that airflow we've got coming through here. We still got a couple more weeds and stuff, but honestly, I'm racing some thunderstorms right now because I can hear thunder in the distance and they are building and rumbling in. So just want to show you guys what I did, just kind of pruned it up. Matter of fact, I forgot one sucker right there. Go ahead and get rid of that guy. But airflow is so critically important to the health of your tomatoes. So you do have to prune them. I mean, look at all that mess right there. Rotten tomatoes and all of the limbs that I pruned off of there. But that airflow is going to be so much better now on these hot, humid, sticky nights. And the tomatoes are really going to thank us for it. And look at what we've got in just a few minutes, guys. And I do have to go through here and cull some tomatoes that have some spots on them and what have you, but we got our big old carrot, we got some onions, we got some Roma tomatoes. Give raised bed gardening, I got stuff on my face and almost in my eye, but anyway, give raised bed gardening a try. It's super easy. Anybody can do this. It's really easy and it's very therapeutic for me. Just coming out here and working in the garden, this is my plant therapy. This is how I relax. I love it. Even though it's warm and sticky and muggy outside right now, I just love it. And as you guys know that are gardeners, there's just something beneficial to just getting your hands in the dirt, getting barefoot, just getting involved with nature. It's so much fun. So give it a try. Thank you guys so much for watching the channel. And I really appreciate all of you who always drop me a comment. You know who you are. I got a couple of diehard fans out there that always drop a comment, and it helps the channel out immensely. So just tell me where you're from, tell me what you want to see me grow. If I can do it, I will certainly try to make a video. And always remember, the more you know, the more you grow. We'll see you guys on the next video, y'all. Have a great afternoon.